When you hear the name Onassis, what comes to mind? Extravagance? Opulence? Perhaps a dash of scandal? All of the above and more would be correct. Aristotle Onassis, the Greek shipping tycoon, wasn't just rich, he was wealth personified. At the peak of his power in the mid-20th century, his fortune was estimated in the billions, which back then was the kind of money that made even the wealthiest blush. He made his fortune in shipping, but his legacy goes beyond that. He was married to Jacqueline Kennedy, the widow of President John F. Kennedy, catapulting him into the kind of elite society that few can ever dream of entering. But what really gives us insight into the Onassis family's extraordinary wealth is the homes they inhabited. Mansion, apartment, island, and even yacht told a story. So come, let's explore the world of Onassis wealth through these magnificent properties. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be wishing you could take a vacation on one of these estates, or at least daydream about it. Chapter 1. Grosvenor Square. Imagine living in the heart of Mayfair, London's swankiest district, a place where just walking down the street feels like you're brushing up against history. The Onassis family did just that at 47 Grosvenor Square. This wasn't some modest flat tucked away on a side street, it was a sprawling 5,000 square foot masterpiece. Aristotle Onassis bought the apartment in the 1960s, and it became a hotspot for the elite, hosting glamorous gatherings attended by aristocrats, politicians, and Hollywood royalty. What's especially remarkable about this property is that it was designed to impress. You walked into 5 bedrooms, 3 decadent reception rooms, and a library so opulent that reading became an experience of pure luxury. And the kitchen is more like an art studio than a place to cook. But the real pièce de résistance was the 63-foot balcony, the only one in the building with a view that stretched out over Grosvenor Square. Think about it, sipping champagne while looking out over the city. If that doesn't scream old money, I don't know what does. Now, let's move across the pond because we're not done yet. When you're Aristotle Onassis, one continent simply isn't enough. Chapter 2. Fifth Avenue, New York. You know the saying, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And boy, did Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis make it. After the tragic assassination of Jackie left Washington, D.C. and found solace in a grand 15-room apartment on the 50th floor of 1045 Fifth Avenue in New York. With views of Central Park and the reservoir which would later be named after her, the apartment was as much a work of art as the masterpieces that probably hung on its walls. Designed by architect Rosario Candela in 1930, the limestone building exuded exclusivity. It was the kind of place where you had to know someone to even get a glimpse inside. Jackie's penthouse was a full-floor unit, which meant sweeping views and total privacy. Inside, the space was filled with personal touches that reflected her elegant yet understated style, including cozy sofas, books piled on every available surface, and art from her White House days. But Jackie wasn't about showing off. The decor stayed simple, with one of her friends even remarking that the apartment was more about comfort than grandeur. This was where she retreated when the world outside got too intense. Chapter 3. Scorpio's Island. Now, what if I told you that owning a luxury apartment in New York wasn't enough for the Onassis family? Of course it wasn't. Aristotle Onassis needed something more remote. Enter Scorpios, a private island in the Ionian Sea that Onassis purchased in 1963 for what would today seem like an absolute steal, about $14,000 US. Yes, you heard that right. Less than the price of a used car. But Onassis wasn't content to leave it as just a rustic outcrop in the sea. No. He imported over 200 varieties of trees, shipped in sand from another island, and built an entire family compound complete with a helipad and marina. And let's talk about the Pink House, Jackie's personal retreat on the island. Aristotle had it built just for her after their marriage in 1968. It was a slice of paradise, meant to be her haven, where the crystal-clear waters of the Ionian Sea lapped at the shore just steps from her front door. That said, not even this level of seclusion could protect Jackie from the relentless paparazzi, who famously caught her sunbathing on the island's beaches in 1971. But it wasn't all scandal and sun. Scorpios became the site for some of the most exclusive high-society gatherings you could imagine. Picture this: Hollywood royalty, political bigwigs, cultural icons. all flocking to a private island where Onassis's legendary hospitality was the star attraction. It was as if the island was a stage and the players were the most famous people on the planet. Chapter 4. Christina O. Yacht. Let's be honest, when you're this wealthy, a mansion on land isn't enough. You need a mansion on the water too. Enter the Christina O., Aristotle Onassis's personal yacht, which was once a Canadian warship. Onassis bought it for a mere $34,000 and then spent a whopping $4 million turning it into one of the most luxurious vessels the world has ever seen. The transformation was nothing short of extraordinary. The yacht had a swimming pool that could turn into a dance floor at the touch of a button, a bar made from the timbers of a sunken Spanish galleon, complete with whale teeth engravings. Oh, and let's not forget the 18 staterooms, each more extravagant than the last. And the guest list is a who's who of mid-century fame: Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, Elizabeth Taylor, John F. Kennedy, Winston Churchill. The Christina O. wasn't just a boat, it was a stage for the kinds of moments that most of us only read about in history books. Today, the Christina O. still sails the seas, though it's been restored after a period of neglect. But it remains a living testament to Onassis's larger-than-life approach to everything, including his homes on land and sea. Chapter 5. Redgate Farm. Finally, let's end our tour on a quieter note with Redgate Farm in Martha's Vineyard, the place Jackie Kennedy Onassis purchased in 1979. After Aristotle's death, Jackie poured herself into creating a sanctuary here, transforming 340 acres of raw, untouched land into a retreat that blended nature with understated elegance. This wasn't just a vacation home, it was where Jackie found peace, spending her final years surrounded by books, gardens, and the quiet beauty of the island. Today, the estate remains in the family, a lasting symbol of Jackie's legacy and the Onassis tradition of timeless, iconic homes.